now have the privilege of introducing ViaTechMD. ViaTechMD has invented and developed the first and only device-based treatment specifically designed to treat a wide range of conditions known to contribute to preterm birth. The company's globally patented device, the Cervical Stabilization device, promises a highly accessible, cost-effective, non-invasive, and medication-free preventative treatment in prevention of preterm birth. Please welcome Julie Causey, Executive Vice President of ViaTechMD.
Good morning. My name is Julie Causey, and ViaTechMD has a breakthrough medical device treatment and prevention of preterm birth. As you see in the photo here, and as we know, many babies are born way too early, and that causes all sorts of challenges to those babies. Some are born at a pound or 2 pounds or 3 pounds, and probably almost every single one of you knows somebody who has had a baby way too early. So just take note of the photo and the proportion of the baby to that hand. That can obviously lead to death of the baby. It can also lead to numerous health challenges for those infants that survive for a lifetime, including autism, cerebral palsy, blindness, deafness, any number of respiratory challenges, as well as any number of learning differences. And so we are talking, in fact, about 1 in 10 pregnancies. So a very high volume medical challenge, but also one that's extraordinarily expensive in each individual circumstance. That's what creates our enormous marketplace. So our solution is a cervical stabilization device. As you see in the photo there, what the device is literally doing is helping the pregnant mother support the weight bearing of that fetus. What that does is to slow the effacement and dilation from happening too early. So this is used in high-risk circumstances or in any sort of circumstance where a woman has effacement and dilation too early in that pregnancy. You can see as well that we have a very robust growing global patent portfolio. We have a number of tremendous partners that we work with our company, including having the capacity to support a commercial launch at this point with our terrific partner, Freudenberg Medical. Any of you that work in men's health or women's health or the device world know that they are just absolutely top-notch. They oftentimes have as many as 4 or 5 full-time employees working on our products. And that's just one example of our shoulder-to-shoulder partners that are doing just a tremendous job of supporting us in this process. From an FDA perspective, all of our efforts are working towards an FDA human clinical trial that we expect to begin in the beginning of 2021. In the meanwhile, we've got 2 trials and studies that we are doing, and our funding that we're raising right now is really to support those 3 studies. The first one is that we're doing a fitment study here over the next number of weeks, which will test again for a second time fit and comfort. We've got a very successful trial already, and then we'll do some work out of the U.S. in order to feed data into the U.S. FDA process. You will note that this is not only a tremendous opportunity for investors in that we have an enormous marketplace of $50 billion a year that we're working in. So tremendous economic upside, but it's also a life-saving technology and therefore an impact company in all sorts of ways, including disrupting the healthcare industry by eliminating huge expense. Our operating and business strategy really is just working with the very top partners in this. We talked about Freudenberg on the manufacturing side. Styrus is the CRO and is the best around. Mark Duvall and Company is our regulatory counsel, and many of you will know him. From an exit standpoint, which is what many of you care about from an investor perspective, we are really looking to exit sometime in the next 2 or 3 years and hoping for a post-approval but pre-commercialization exit to a company like a Boston Scientific. We look for that to be a triumvirate in some respects, so sell to a company like a Boston Scientific, but also utilize a market maker with United Health Group. United Healthcare, many of you know, is an enormous company representing 120 million covered lives through their Optum subsidiary. Dr. Migliori is the chief medical officer and has been tremendously interested in making our device the standard of care once we've got our approval and distributing that through his physician network. And they talk about having a $2 billion a year challenge just within United Healthcare. So as we all know, that's already a market, even just within that United Healthcare group. So sell to a Boston Scientific within 2 to 3 years, but with that market maker of the United Health Group. From a financial perspective, you can see that the numbers are absolutely stratospheric, even with a relatively small market share. And we could talk about that in more detail. We've talked a lot about management. We've raised $3.5 million to date, and 100% of that has been friends and family. So we are new to the angel group fundraising, and we'll be moving more towards venture money and high net worth money over the next number of months. It'll take us $8 million to get to exit from a capital perspective, and $1 million or $2 million of that will be utilized in the studies over the next 12 months. We would be absolutely delighted to have you join us as an investor. Thanks so much.